This day 1575, the Arukh HaShulchan Yomi. This week's Arukh HaShulchan Yomi is being sponsored by Yonis and Ezra and Chana Feigl for a schus, for parnasa, and for a shidduch. Because Baruch Hu be memalim mishalos libo l'toiva, speedily. Today we are doing Yoredea, siman shin chaf, sif yud dalid, to sif chaf, Yudal. Since we explained that the Mikra Din, the kinyan of a non-Jew, is B'mshicha, therefore it would seem that if the Yisrael was makna to a non-Jew, the mother of the Chor, B'mshicha Levada by Meshicha itself, only by Meshicha, or B'kinyan Chotzer, or of course Kinyan Chotzer, Yamoy Lepachim Chor would be effective to examine B'chor, that's the opinion of Mekach, but the stipulation on the transaction is essential. If you do not stipulate the purchase of the animal or a portion of it, no kin is effective. The difference is astonishing. The Marachon brings the Maril. But the Im doesn't work. Let's make two kinyanim. Lamis Chamiro Gam Diavad. Why are they Machmirim Diavad? Rabbi Rama Bachua Basal added B'Diavad Betur Me B'Chor Gam Shil Levada. Rama passes explicitly that Mashiach suffices B'Diavad to examine B'Chor. And he says brackets Chem Pasaka Grow. Grow passed away as well. Back out bracket says the Yishlash, so we have to consider this carefully before we pass in actual practice. The bracket says V'dad mitasif konsayin bud akanos hamokum koinem mikitam kinyan agav. The says bestowing ownership on the place bestows ownership on the animal on account of kinyan agav. That it's not a kinyan chotzer but agav. It's being piggybacked on the ground which is there. Ein sham betum shulchan mashu kinyan chotzer, but shulchan sounds like kinyan chotzer. Ein gra. Rabbi Aaron Chashmin Sobsim Kup Sadak Kinyan Chotzer, Kinyan Agav, the Kinyan Sudar Mahani Bekuti, the Kinyan of a Chotzer, the Kinyan of Agav Karka, and the Kinyan of Sudar Khalifin. Mahani Bekuti all work by a non-Jew. I ensure Mechani so Mikuti Kinyan Kuti Miso also when a Jew acquires from a non-Jew. It's like the acquisition of a non-Jew from a Jew. I ensure Hey they see there carefully. Test Vav called the Russian Nogu Bobo so Mokum Knos Bo, anything which they used the custom in this place was to use this manner of acquisition and make the transaction. It is a standing custom. It's effective also. So if they added they made it kiaskaf, the handshake, a kinyan, they can make it a kinyan. That would be effective. For the minute is to buy with a security deposit. Hainu ufgab shekoin zodotok. The commitment should be a handshake. That's a handshake. If that is the consistent, the prevalent, consistent custom. Mani, it's effective point of Chora and extensive Chora. Mani minhag makom shal pi adin animal. If it a minhag is effective place where according to halacha no kinyan should be effective. Such as acquiring something which is not yet doesn't yet exist. Baruch we explained that machlokes and machlokes over the for the mahani must have been his whole that works. Otherwise, you have a lot of trouble with modern day kinyan such as the commodities markets. Anyway, the malchusa if the malchus institutes for a kinyan, that's also effective. The malchus therefore according to the din of the malchus according to the second law according to the Mishnah, you can acquire movable objects with a document. Moshe Minagan was saying like is the custom in our country. Shemar Tzchar contract. Says we're contract here. They sell merchandise with a contract about pidin and malchus based on the law of the land. Mo'agam b'chor. It's also affected by b'chor. V'chein b'rei understand the kingdom to Rabbanim mo'agam d'oraisa. So similar to the big Yeshish B'Abbas as well. The kingdom of Rabbanan is effective as the Raisa and Shom. All this is only after stipulating the parameters of the sale. Before the stipulation parameters of the sale, Amo sale, Amo Shum Kinyan, no Kinyan is effective. As he wrote. To give the mother as a gift or to make it hefker is not effective in preventing the din of b'chor from devolving on the calf. That's true as a gershuni. Ve'na kavana the mikra din lomai. It's not that it doesn't work according to strictly the laws. Lama lomai. Why shouldn't it work? A gift is like a sale. B'chol makom all over the world. all over the place. All there is halacha. But Hefker can't give over to the Mahari. Hefker also goes to this, is effective, which level some seed base. Ela Kavana, the Karla de Kilkul. That means that it's likely to bring about ruination. The Mishnah Mechira, we understand by a sale, yes, Heker, there's a recognition. Most, he's getting money. But and he makes a transaction. I'm a ton, but a gift, how he can talk about it looks like it's not serious. It's like it's a joke. Is not giving with full intent. The gam, certainly if you take it out and take it outside into the field. They don't bito there, and you don't look at it. They don't say you don't get involved with it. Money, then it's effective. It's clearly hefker. But to say to your mafkir, it's in your own courtyard. Ain't it's just babble. It's meaningless. When you sell when you receive a security deposit, a certain small amount, you should make sure to say, and the rest of the money you owe to me by a certain amount of time. Then certainly if the purchaser has an Orev Kabbalah who's going to pay on his behalf. If he defaults stuff, it's even better. Those who say that stipulating that the loan is not effective, there's no concern whatsoever. I ain't sure. See that. You die, because of those who wrote the after who's suffering before. Even though if the purchase is only made by money between the Jew and the non-Jew, it's at best a suffix b'chor, a doubtful b'chor. Koko nevertheless imakono hu alam. If the buyer is a violent person, shavali me, so it's definitely going to take the b'chor from the Jew. Im Yolda, if it gives birth between b'chor, it's exempt from b'chor. Ape shebishusi, so even when it's under the Jew's jurisdiction, under the Israel's jurisdiction, and be considered that it belongs to that bully, that violent person. Semach Tzedek. Don't know if it's the Kadmon or the Chabad Semach Tzedek. The Yisdaiti Elvarim Shein Lem Shir. Probably the Kadmon. When the Yisdaiti Elvarim Shein Lem Shir, these are things which have no measures as Rosh. The King Amalokes and Name If that's the case, let's say it also without money. El Ma'israchim, and what are you going to say? The Gazanu? That he's a thief. V'adzma Zman Exelu B'Shusa. He saw until the time of the theft. It was in the Jews' jurisdiction, under the Jews' jurisdiction. That's the case. It's also by Kinyan Kesef. It lacks effect. But unless there's a minute like we before, why it's a minute. You don't have to bring violence into this picture. I didn't name it. It's clear when it's not a mekach according to the letter of law. Not according to custom. By Yisrael and the Jew can negate the sale. And the buyer is not violent. You have all those conditions. It was not a complete kinyan kesef. Such as they stipulated that he give cash. So much less. He gave less than that amount. And the animal gives birth then under the auspices of the Yisrael to B'chor Badai. In all these cases, definitely B'chor. Yisrael caught a Pola Mikuti became a Gomer. Yisrael vice versa. Acquired a cow from a non-Jew as an absolute kingdom. And the cow was stolen from the non-Jew. And the non-Jew agreed to give the Jew another cow. And then before he received the new cow, the thief was found. And then the cow gave birth. The I guess the animal from the first time was parted because even the kuti took it, the Najju took it without authorization. But by separating the second animal, he indicates that he's given up the first one, so it belongs to the non-Jew. Most of the non-Jew agreed to give him back his money. Being a kuti, no, if the Jew agreed to give back his money. So it belongs to the non-Jew. If a non-Jew rented a cow from a Jew, I was mine for some amount of time. I took his money all the B'chor. At the time they gave birth to B'chor. It's required in the B'chor to have B'chor. The Gufa B'Yishus Yisrael. So metis, the body still remains in the Jew's jurisdiction. For Lormin, don't say Slim that the rental for a day, Memko was like a sale. The only sale got to be on law in terms of the fraud. As clear for sale places. Because came sell parts of you bar the cow. Can't have a so the opposite because so if the non-Jew bar the cow. It's not considered to belong to him. Can't have the opposite. She saw Shalom matter of the Jew rented or bar a cow from the non-Jew. Because the ikar ownership is still by the non-Jew. Because he's going to part of me, so a non-Jew stole a cow from a Jew. The Yoda, so Bechor gave birth by the non-Jew. The Bechor imu achar yeshib. It's after the Jew gave a pope. It's exempt from Bechor. The Habakevka, it's like Kevka that point. Because yeshib was before the Jew gave a pope. It's obligated Bechor. If he mocha part of Shabbos Yontif. If somebody sold a cow on Shabbos Yontif, actually, say Easter, no, he committed prohibition. By his actions. Hameka Kaim, the sale is valid. Therefore, it's exempt from Chora. Yes, you stop there. I'm sorry. Mechira Lakuti Katan, selling to a non-Jewish minor, Oktana, male or female. It seems it's not effective. Yes, you stop there. Evidently, Chazon is not sure about this. Or Mechira Shabai, sell to a servant in the household. It's also not effective. Yom never left the jurisdiction of the owner. Especially since this sale is a weak kind of sale. It's not possible any other way. Have to sell to a member of your household. Should be an absolute sale. With all possible kinyonim. Belt and suspenders. All the possible ones. Kesef, Mashicha, a monetary transaction, a pulling transaction to the simta, either to an alio, or aknos rishus, or a should be a shicha or simta, or aknos rishus, or being makne the jurisdiction, whether it's chutz or agav, van shlok, and a handshake, v'kabos kinyan, and a chalifin. Shotgun approach. For Christ, whether it's not as that, we already clarified that in our day and age, mitzvah limkar mevakares, it's mitzvah to sell the animal which is going to be giving birth to its firstborn. But it should be so even if the man is not home, Tip Koresh to let his wife sell gamlo shu, so he was out of his permission. It's clear that he wants that sold. In this case, where we do a favor to a person even where he's not around. Just like a wife can sell chametz for her husband when her husband not around. Stop it there, even though somebody's not sure about this. But I don't know why he's not sure. It seems to me rather if the woman's not home. Somebody else can sell on her behalf because it's Zachalam Shlo B'Fanav. In other words, not just the husband's not home, but even the wife can sell. The wife's not home, the members of the household can sell. If somebody gets a sheep to raise from a non-Jew for a certain set amount of money, he reckons the value of his animal, so we're a set amount of money, and he wants the Jew to pay for up to a certain date. Those offspring which should be from the sheep until the time they'll divide between two of them. If they are going to die or get lower in price, who has hesitated, so the Jew covers the cost. So even though they're completely in the jurisdiction of the Jew, frankly, it's like he owns them. Nevertheless, the offspring is from Bechorah. But the reason is since, so to speak, the title belongs to the non-Jew. Even though there's no title on animals, but virtually speaking. And the animal and its offspring are under liens to the non-Jew. If the non-Jew won't find by the Jew money to collect, is going to collect from the animals and their offspring. Therefore, Mika Yad Kuti Bems is called the hand of the non-Jews in the middle. Because they primarily belong to the non-Jew. But the same as they and their offspring, Shi'olidu, when they give birth are Pturos, Vlados, but the grandchildren of the animal, the grandkids of his goat, Chayav and their Chayav. The Kuti has no lien over them. It's only Vlados, not Vlados. Maybe that Vlados was the same if he took the next generation and put it in lieu of the mother. So now the second generation becomes the first generation, and the third generation becomes the second generation. Vlados Purim, the second generation is Plata, Vlados, the third generation is Chayav. Zak Cloud, this is general principle. The Kabbalah said, "Tzon having a tzon b'achrayus." When you get sheep to raise the tzon, the sheep under your jurisdiction. Melagam Vlados has therefore the offspring is also your jurisdiction. Vlados, but not the grand offspring. Shemira Vlados, and when you set up the Vlados as part of transaction, then it goes down the next generation. Then their Vlados follow them, and so on and so forth. And even though the assumption was that it's going to be money going back and forth, nevertheless it's going to be an ownership share. Yutes Kasar Ben Ramad Ramah writes, Kuti Baal Choy, Kuti who's a debtor, Shekiva Be'emam Yisrael, who got an animal from a Jew, legal to raise it, via Chavetz Chelik Vlados, and the guy wants a part of the offspring. But I saw Amar, Yisrael said, Amar Litan Domim, the Yisrael said, no way, Jose. I'm only going to give you money, not part of the animal. Since the lender has the advantage over the borrower, but it's clear whether likes the non-Jew likes or not, he's going to take money. Yeah, we come to b'chayra. There was an example b'chayra. Hoshkuti loratza tapaba rak b'chayra kavlodes. Because the b'chayra kavlodes. It's about the kanashon of advarim second beer. This requires an explanation. Chav v'dayish on the b'kora din the source of the mitumas hadesh and psakim and chumas hadesh psakim and ma'aser story evidently transpired. She Yehudi echad nasan l'kuti be'imashal a Jew gave a non-Jewish animal to raise. The God love he said because he says he's going to pay money for his efforts. The non-Jew did not want this work. He wanted a portion in the offspring. But the non-Jew was a debtor to the Jew. The debtor is not relevant to this transaction. The Jew was secure because the non-Jew owes him money. And psychologically, a borrower is a slave to the lender. He's going to compel the non-Jew after the kabamos that he has to take money for his payment. It's not a portion in the offspring. They exempted from the Korah. They exempted from nonetheless, because the Kuti only wanted chelik in the Vlados, and that's why I accepted them, even though the Jew can be masalikim. True, afterwards, the Jew compelled to accept money. That's like the Jew is buying it back from the non-Jew without his acquiescence. On the base but when it was being raised, so the hand of the non-Jew was in the middle. Said, there's a question with this. How did the non-Jew acquire the Vlados? There's no portion of the animal. To acquire the fetuses, which doesn't yet exist. The Shumas answers them. We say, it's as if he says to him, can he acquire the animal for the purpose of its offspring? I ain't sure to have a chelik in the animal itself for the offspring. Yishai is the kinyan of every guy. What kinyan effective here? There is mashicha v'gam kesef, and also kinyan kesef dotzos hamzonos to pay for the outlay for food is have a kinyan kesef like a kinyan kesef. Chofav. Would cast severe aspersions on this heter. The nomad dynastic Moshe Amar Kni Behem L'Doseh, that we should say that even though the Jew can be Masalikim Emos, it's as if the non-Jew has a portion in the offspring. Why should we say this? The Hebrews complain. Kankina Kesef also the monetary transaction is not clear. Most of the poskim. The primary king is Mashiach anyway. And if it's even if it's Davar Shel Ba'olam, it doesn't exist. You can rely on the opinion of the Rambam. When you can tell that the woman is pregnant, it's called that her fetus is coming to the world. We reject that proof of the Rambam. The Rakli and Kiddushin in terms of marriage, he was he said this to be machmir. Avaloli akula, but not for lenience. He has to be here to examine b'chayr ayin sham. V'toyel ma'akuti, he's supposed to say to the non-Jew, she'achtoch ozno, to cut off the ear. When he's already clarified, the zana zav a rakar rabbanan tells mum b'chor, so a rabbinic prohibition to make a mum b'chor. V'amir lakuti, b'yisad to rabbanan, you tell your non-Jew, and this is rabbanan anyway, and you have the Ramah's assumption that it belongs to the non-Jew in any event. Kedai Rabbeinu Ramah l'smochol aviglai, and the Ramah she'en kan iser glal, there's no prohibition whatsoever. And brackets even said that he really wrote something similar. Now, normally you would stop here today because Chafav is last one, but in our list for today, but Chabez is really short. Let's finish the siman and the section on Hilchos B'chor Be'em Torah. Chabez Okas, I also wrote the Ramah, wrote, Kuti Shekibah Be'emes Yisrael top above, and non-Jew accepted the animal of a Jew to deal with it. Ve'en L'chelik Ba has no portion in it. Rakibah L'vachayis, but accept responsibility. Shalah, that is, if it gets, dies or whatever, he has to make resolution. Chayav es B'chayr, it's Chayav B'chayr. Because primarily still the Jews. Pashu, it's obvious. They are cries will bad just because the non-Jew accepts responsibility, that doesn't exempt Luchera. So, if you send a messenger, an agent, to sell your animal to avoid Bukhara, but you don't know if he did or not, you have to be machmir and assume he did not fulfill his shlichus.